Good morning and Jai Hind. This is fourth part of Feathered Friend. Now let us read the story further. Let's have a look at her, said Jock Duncan, our cook, doctor, dietitian. We all waited in hushed silence since he held Claribel against his ear in an attempt to detect any heartbeat. Presently, he shook his head. I can't hear anything. But that doesn't prove she is dead. I have never listened to a canary's heartbeat, he added rather apologetically. So, after looking the condition of Claribel, all other crew members got worried. Then our cook cum doctor cum dietitian named Jock Duncan took initiative and come in front to check the condition of Claribel. Then all the people over there, including the writer, waited for Jock Duncan's reaction. Initially, Jock took the Claribel in his hand and brought her near his ears to hear her heartbeat. Immediately, Jock shook his head as he can't hear her heartbeat. Along with that, he admitted that it doesn't mean that she was dead because he had never heard her heartbeat before. Give her a shot of oxygen, suggested somebody, pointing to the green banded emergency cylinder in its recess beside the door. Everyone agreed that this was an excellent idea and Claribel was tucked snugly into a face mask that was large enough to serve as a complete oxygen tent for her. So, then somebody from the crew suggested to give oxygen to Claribel from oxygen cylinder which was just beside the door. Everyone agreed and then oxygen mask was applied over Claribel in a very cozy way to provide sufficient oxygen to her. Let us read further. To our delighted surprise, she revived at once, beaming broadly. Sven removed the mask and she hopped onto his finger. She gave her series of trills, then promptly keeled over again. I don't get it, lamented Sven. What's wrong with her? She never done this before. So, because of providing oxygen to the Claribel, such a treatment, Claribel got up at once, due to which all people over there got surprised and mask was removed by the Sven. Claribel hopped onto his finger. After making few movements, Claribel again fell down. Then Sven said in very sad voice that he can't get to know that what was going on. He was confused about the Claribel condition as she had never done that before. Let us read further. For the last few minutes, something had been tugging at my memory. My mind seemed to be sluggish that morning, as if I was still unable to cast off the burden of sleep. I felt that I could do with some of that oxygen, but before I could reach the mask, understanding exploded in my brain. I rilled on the duty engineer and said urgently, Jim, there is something wrong with the air. That's why Claribel passed out. I have just remembered that miners used to carry canaries down to warn them of gases. So, in the meanwhile, writer was thinking about something else. He realized since morning he was feeling sleepy. He thought to inhale some oxygen from oxygen cylinder, but immediately something struck in his mind. He turned towards the duty engineer, Jim, and asked him that there is something wrong with the air due to which Claribel was dead. He reminded that in early days, miners used to carry canary as a detector to warn them of harmful gases. Let us read further. Nonsense, said Jim. the alarm would have gone off. We have got duplicate circuits operating independently. The second alarm circuit isn't connected up yet, his assistant reminded him. That shook Jim. He left without a word, while we stood arguing and passing the oxygen bottle around like a pipe of peace. We He came back 10 minutes later with a sheepish expression. It was one of those accidents that couldn't possibly happen. We had one of our rear eclipsed by Earth's shadow that night. Part of the air purifier had frozen up and the single alarm in the circuit had failed to go off. $500,000 worth of chemical and electronic engineering had let us down completely. Without Claribel, we should soon have been slightly dead. So, now the Jim replied that it was completely nonsense as alarms were failed. It was replaced by the duplicate circuits which are operating independently. After listening this, Jim's assistant reminded him that the second alarm was not connected till then. After listening this, Jim was shocked and he went from there without saying a word. Meanwhile, all the crew members were sharing oxygen from oxygen cylinder and arguing over the topic. After 10 minutes, Jim returned with sheepish expression. Actually, due to rare eclipse by Earth's shadow, that night air purifier had frozen up and single alarm was also failed. Millions of dollars were spent on such appliances, but still they failed to serve the purpose. But Claribel reacted, and due to which all were saved. Let us read the last paragraph of the chapter. So, now, if you visit any space station, don't be surprised if you hear an inexplicable snatch of bird song. There is no need to be alarmed. On the contrary, in fact, it will mean that you are being doubly safeguarded at practically no extra expenses. So, writers said that from now onwards, if you go to any space station, there may be a bird cannery over there. So, there would be no need to get surprised and alarmed. In fact, you are being doubly safeguarded without any extra cost.